Hey folks, I'm at least making one more video tonight, so you guys are getting a little bit more videos than I've been posting for a while, which is hopefully good. And this is just a grocery shopping video, kind of talking about like food, nutrition, that sort of thing. I know I've made a lot of them, but you guys over time can see at least well, one of these days I'll do like more of, like, you can see kind of how um, I'm getting trimmer. I'm definitely getting leaner. I'm getting healthier, but I've been working out more, exercising basically. It's kind of one of the missing links in a way, but this is a nutrition and a grocery related video. Just this would have been probably about a week ago or so, um, almost a week ago, just about going to PCC in Bothell. And I'm gonna go over these different foods, the reason I got them, and here's just a bit. Of course, at this current time, I still have a whole bunch of frozen berries that I haven't eaten because, well, I'm just trying to go easy on the fruit. But I've had a few other things that need to be eaten that are frozen, like Indian gooseberry and jujube plum that are just like different. That I got at an Indian store. Plus, oh gosh, yeah, I have a few of those older things, and I think I probably need to throw out some old peanuts that I just have never eaten. But speaking of peanuts, let's get started here. I am going through my stuff, which is good. It's always a question of how much you go through your stuff. I was trying to do a better job of that. Got 3 bags of peanuts CB salted. To be honest, I could probably even get more of those. Those things are so freaking good. And they are healthy. But just the top of quality peanuts, man. When you go to PCC, by the way. And you guys probably remember a lot of my old PCC videos I made at my old place. I was at my old place for a long time. But yeah, in the brown bag, this is the CB's peanuts bag. CB's nuts, 12 ounces. And you can see their nutrition information. They actually are doing a pretty good job with that too. They tell you more than just the protein, fat, carbohydrate, sodium, general stuff. They go into some more detail with the nutrients, but wouldn't it be nice if we had more of this kind of thing on everything? But this is why we research nutrition, I guess, on our own. So anyway, lots of manganese in that stuff. So I've actually, I think, gone through almost all of my peanuts already. It's been a week. I've attacked the peanuts for sure. Okay, so bok choy. It has been a vegetable that I've liked, but I think in more recent times I'm becoming even more fond of it. Last half year, especially, off and on. But yeah, it's gaining in my liking of it. So I got some clementines, a little bit on the sweet side for what I want to be eating right now, but oranges are healthy, just not too many at once. Same deal with tangelos. I probably could use the vitamin C on some level, even if I'm getting vitamin C from vegetables. So that was probably a good choice. Cilantro for the minerals, it's a no-brainer. Cilantro is great with salads. Sometimes you wonder with these vegetables and herbs how to best use them, or what would I really. Also, the question is, what would be the tastiest, or what would taste the best? How we prepare them, and peanuts and fruit are fine, or nuts and fruit, because they just usually just eat them on their own or whatever. But when you get into the vegetable arena, it's like, oh, you're gonna be cooking, or you're gonna be using them in different ways. But cilantro is so delicate that it just, I think, works better as a salad green, pretty much. So, or something like that. Or you can add it to anything, but it's, anyway, I like it in salads. Lettuce, romaine lettuce, a lot of nutrients there. Onion. Um, I've been eating more onions again more recently. They're not too high in sugar and they're not the sweet onion. I love them. I think they're great. They're kind of having them like one a day or maybe one every other day. One of my main vegetables more recently. I haven't really got into my carrots as much. I still will, but carrots are always so cheap. That's for like 6 of them, 6, 7, I don't know. Several carrots. And you can see so far the main pricey thing was the tangelos, which I love. It's more of a taste thing. I just love the taste of tangelos. And Bok Choy and Clementines a little bit. And then, of course, PCC always has a little bit higher prices for things, but it's really a top quality. We didn't spend too much. No, we did get a lot of beef. This is more beef than I've gotten in a while. And we have the tri-tips and skirt steaks that were a little bit more economical. But then I was splurged and got the ribeyes. And I think I got 3 of them. Yeah. And some diesel drumsticks. That was turkey drumsticks. And then it's the wing drum thing. I could get more of those wing drums. That was really good. I had them tonight. I've got them before, but it's like I've been eating a fair amount of steak this last week. More, I think I'm going through the cheaper cuts. I haven't got to the ribeyes yet. And it was great to have that chicken. And I have some salmon from earlier shopping trips as well. But yeah, I mean, it's interesting though, talking about this subject of whether or not someone's addicted to beef. That's an interesting train of thought because, I mean, the question could be posed to me: Am I addicted to beef? No, I don't think so. But when you have more beef, it has to be more than at least having it every day for the last, well, most days other than last week. It would have to be like you'd be having it most every day for the last half year. In that case, probably addicted to beef. But the question is always mental, like, or physical. Could I go for a long, long time without any beef? Yes, I could. I could. The question would be, oh, well, maybe you would have pork instead, right? Pork instead? Or maybe some other kind of red meat in place of the beef. That's a very good question, and the best answer I could give to that would be it would be hard to have no red meat for that long period of time, but I think I could do it. The question is, would I want to do that? Yeah, because you're cutting out all that healthy, all the niacin and all the stuff that red meat is good for. So if my doctor said no, then I'd probably have to go, okay. But the poultry and the fish and the egg, they can, for what they do, they would be great. I don't think anybody really seriously. Oh, red meat's still the one that's maligned of all the meaty things, and the only folks that seem to really harp on about the unhealthiness of eggs, fish, and poultry are nutritarians to a certain extent, small extent. It's more about the red meat, and then of course vegans and vegetarians. You're gonna hear less. So it's usually vegans and to a small extent nutritarians, but Joel Furman is more adamant about the beef thing, which he would have an issue with this, I know, But as you guys know, I am not really eating hardly any, comparatively speaking, very low carb. I've been going low carb for quite some time now, well, like a few years now. And so, because I'm low carb, that's the way to go. Getting more exercise. Um, where do you get your tastier food? Well, red meat technically is not the best thing for me still, but it's much better for me right now than fruit juice. In fact, fruit juice, I need to still not have any of it. So, yeah. So Joel's firm just has to deal with that. Well, but I mean, it's like, oh, I can tell I'm doing fine. If you're doing a keto diet, or if you're doing if you're diabetic and you type 2, whatever, either way. But if you are just doing the veggies and a little bit of nuts, maybe it's always a question of beans. But if you're just doing veggies mainly and like chicken, fish, egg, I mean that's even more limiting. It's like where's the flavor coming from? Are you looking forward to eating? Probably not. If you're not looking forward to eating, are you going to actually eat? You eat sometime. It's like, but that's the funny thing about that. All it is that when you get off of sugar, so much of your interest in food changes. It just fundamentally changes, and it's like if you don't have the red meat, it's like, well, sheesh, what else is there aside from red meat and and fruit type stuff or dark chocolate? Well, you look forward to the nutrients, I guess, but it's kind of like food just becomes less of a big deal in your life, which is probably a good thing in a way. But and you don't have the grains, so the sugary grains. Again, these food addictions. I'm gonna get into all this stuff in a bit, but talking about this nutrition stuff a bit more. But grains, we basically eat refined grains. It's hard. Yes, Americans, we have to try to seek out whole grains, and we're often fooled by something being apparently a whole grain, but it's really not, and all this stuff. So grains are just it's more sugar, right? But we can be addicted to bread. We can be addicted to sugar and not know it. You can be addicted to dairy and meat. Those are the big four, I think, that are big food addiction types of things. But I'm not. I don't think I'm addicted to any of those right now. None of them. It's great to be free from those addictions, but then the question is, what do you actually look forward to? What do you want to eat? And so then it's like, well, I like whatever fruit I have, I look forward to it. So I look forward to eating fruit. But I know I shouldn't eat too much at once, So, and with fruit, I'm also trying to keep it lower GI. But you don't really look forward to vegetables still, but vegetables are easier to eat. You actually eat all your vegetables that you cook, or you don't have as many issues with eating all these vegetables. It's easier to eat them all, so you're healthier. And nuts are, it's a fruit that you look forward to. I mean, they're really sweet fruit. You're like, whoa, those tangelos maybe. But aside from the fruit, it's still, for me, it's like, it's the red meat. And sometimes maybe eggs, kind of, but it's more the red meat. And if it's just, if there's nothing really looking forward to eating, it's probably a good thing, because then you'll eat less, and you all eat less. And again, it doesn't become as huge of a priority in life, which is good. But it's a typical thing. Sorry, I'm going in circles here, but it's just anyway. There's other things I look forward to eating too, like spices and herbs. Just with spices and herbs, it's all the flavor. It's nothing addictive, which is great. There's nothing that you crave in the future. But like cinnamon is like that. It's just, fennel seed and all that stuff. It's amazing stuff. But I guess onions. I like onions a lot, and so but the allium family in general. I think there's a little bit of that. Oh yeah. Anyway, just trying to be honest with you guys. Kimchi. So actually, that's the reason why I like getting fermented stuff like this, because it has more flavor to it. It's great for gut bacteria for sure. Olive oil, for cooking. Lost $20. Yeah, that's a little bit. Holy kraut. So the sauerkraut and the olive oil and the kimchi were a little bit pricier, but I think they're still worth it. Eggs, these top quality eggs I got. I went to Costco with my roommates, who's my landlord, and lives here, of course, in the house, and Costco didn't have any pasteurized eggs. They're all organic or regular, and so I got some organic ones. They're okay, but Costco is really kind of, I don't know. It's just I don't. I go to Costco with my landlord, who has a Costco card, a few times, and they are great for these bulk things. But anyway, my mom likes Costco, but anyway. So yep, got some spinach. A lot of these things I haven't really eaten yet. Frozen veggies. So these are it was peas and green beans and collard greens. Yeah, mentioned spinach. Maybe something else. Forgetting about dark greens. A little bit pricier than it would be at QFC, but still okay. You're doing okay. Blue bonnet, a little bit pricier stuff. Calcium supplements, D3, my kind or ground life, whatever kind, my kind multivitamins. Those are expensive, but I say it's better. But they're really high quality. And Nordic vitamin D3. What was that? Oh, that was the K2, I think. So the supplements brought it up quite a bit. Otherwise, it would have been the mid 200s. And I am getting, ever since I've lived here, I've been definitely buying less per shopping trip, which is good because there's much less of a chance that things are going to go bad. It's never a good thing for things to go bad like that. That you actually want to eat, because if you buy something, you ought to eat it. It's not always the case, but you get it all. They charged me 70 cents for the bags, man. Anyway, I don't know. And then, anyway, so just talking about this stuff here a little bit. Fruit's the dessert for me still. It's going to be that way for I don't know how long. And, but I still look forward to it, man. Those oranges are so good. Whenever you have, that you've been going low carb and you've been doing good in your diet when, if it's trouble with sugar, if the fruit you have is just amazing tasting. Right? Every time you have it, it's just amazing. That's how I want it to be. And you're not overdoing the carbs, not overdoing the fruit. That things are going well that way. If fruit becomes very humdrum and just forgettable, then that things are not as good in terms of how much carbs you're eating, more in the form of fruit perhaps, but or very sweet things. You want sweet things to be especially sweet, and that is always the case more when you're really taking it easy on the levels of sugar. But I got a lot of, I made another list of nutrients and things. I another list from I did earlier based on 100 healthiest foods. I made another one for my roommates here, and on that note, though, just going over the stuff. Yeah, you guys, it was a little bit of money, but if I didn't get the supplements are great. They're great to start out the day because, especially if you skip breakfast, it can kind of save your bacon a little bit, energy-wise and things. But until you can eat, but just mentioning this stuff, beans, because peanuts are technically a legume or bean, have a lot of molybdenum, but I think that's more like the cooked beans. But peanuts are sometimes overlooked as they can be very, very healthy. They are. Um, Bok Choy, it's got a lot of vitamin K and a lot of A and a lot of it's just dark greens have in general have a lot of vitamin K and also a fair bit of minerals, but kind of across the board. Not too much, generally speaking, with every mineral vitamin, but they'll cover the bases pretty well. Of course, oranges have vitamin C, folate, or lettuce, vitamin A, vitamin K, onion, a little bit of vitamin E, I think. Some other stuff like sometimes get biotin and boron mixed up in those B nutrients. Carrots, the A. Beef has a lot of niacin or vitamin B3, and it has the uh, complete proteins, and it has creatine and B12 and like some other B ones like B6, I think, or something like that. And then it has some other, of course, heme iron and choline and things, which we need, especially if you're building muscle. But and chicken, of course, the selenium, potassium, stuff like that. Some other B vitamins, I think. Um, have the salmon still, so there's a little bit of vitamin D there. Um, Eggs are amazing. Eggs have so Eric Berg, Dr. Berg, is who I've talked about recently. It wasn't less than flattering video, I understand. I just thought it was interesting that his son came out and talked to him about it. Came out and talked about some stuff about him. Anyway, regarding Dr. Berg, he asked the question: was anything healthier than beef liver? And it's an interesting question. It's if I were to respond to that, because beef liver, there's no beef liver here, but comparing eggs to beef liver, it's kind of like you get a lot of benefits from beef liver, and the keto folks, and the carnivore folks will say they'll downplay everything I say that's not so good, but there's something to that idea that the more complex the organism, the less it tends to promote longevity. So there's a question also, why is it that vegans or vegetarians live longer? Well, they're eating food that comes from something that's less complex. Therefore, there's a better chance that it'll be better for your longevity. How long, but just, blood, things like blood and guts, right? The complexity of a animal that's, if you kill them, that's red meat. The mammals have much more complex bodies than birds, and birds have more complex bodies than fish, and so on and so forth. And it's just that it's great to have that beef. That's why I bought it, but it's just that I didn't buy this to add years to my life. That would have been more like this stuff, right? Or maybe this stuff, cilantro, lettuce. Hopefully it balances out meat and vegetables. But I mean, I don't know. It's just anyway. Getting back to Eric Berg here for a second, it's just that beef liver is not something that will help you live longer, but it does have a lot of nutrients for sure. But compared to eggs are obviously from a simpler life form. They're from birds, bird eggs. They're simpler than there's little baby eggs, baby birds. So I mean, but eggs have vitamin D. They have vitamin A, which is more absorbable form. Anything from animals tends to be more absorbable by the human body. The question is that always a good thing? Verdict's out, but we're kind of still figuring that out. But carnivores will say that's a good thing. Vegans will say we don't need that much nutrients. We don't need to always have bucket loads of it. We can overdo it, but these eggs have a very absorbable form of vitamin A, and then the really orangey yolks are always better, which is like with pasture raised stuff, right? but eggs have, in addition to some of those vitamins like A and D, some of the B vitamins as well. They have folate or something like that. They have potassium. I was looking at all the different. There's a lot of nutrients that eggs have, very across the board. So if I had to respond to Dr. Berg, I'd say eggs are they can be just as healthy as beef liver because it's from a less complex life form. But then probably Eric Berg would say, no, he's good point. Maybe he wouldn't shoot me down immediately, but anyway, but spinach has a lot of great, and I know you think like the oxalates or whatever. You guys have probably noticed that I'm not buying spinach all the time. It's like once every other month, maybe. It's not very often, like once every third month. I'll get green beans all the time, and broccoli and stuff, cauliflower, peas, not as often, but all that stuff. And of course, these guys cover the gamut from all the stuff that I might not be getting as much of regularly. But so yeah, we got minerals from a lot of stuff from the veggies and the nuts. I didn't get as many nuts this time, but peanuts. So vegetables, peanuts, the animal proteins, and like the fermented stuff. It's good for your gut. And then we got our vitamin C, from the oranges and also the veggies. And I have some of those other stuff still I haven't eaten that still covers the basis for, the iodine stuff like salmon and seaweed and stuff. And what else? Selenium with chicken. Vitamin A, carrots. Yeah. Peanuts also have vitamin E, by the way, of course. It's nuts in general. So yeah, I think we got everything we needed. And anything else to mention here? Well, I noticed that if I don't do supplements, it's not a big thing, by the way. If I don't have supplements for a little while, the only supplement that I think we really ought to be making sure we have a fair amount of is vitamin D3. Everything else is kind of gravy, but some people say be careful about your calcium intake, and yeah, I don't overdo calcium for sure. But all that happens is that your body, if you don't do the supplements and you're just relying on your whole foods, unless you're like amazing about hitting all your goals and whatever 100% stuff, unless you might feel a little less energetic, or you might feel a little bit hungrier. I think when you have a supplement, your body will feel less hungry because more of your, and I'm talking about a hunger that's not a carb thing. It's a different feeling to be hungry because your body needs nutrients compared to your body craves carbs, right? That's different, right? But again, when you have a supplement, supplementing, you're going to be less hungry because your body's getting all those nutrients more at once that you need. So it helps you not to overeat, which is good. But the whole overeating is interesting because you think if you eat more food, you're getting more nutrients in your system. Maybe. It's so complex. There's a question of how much of the nutrients you're using, how much you're excreting. Because if you don't need them, you'll excrete them, right? Kind of rhymes, kind of. And then, so nobody wants to just poop or pee out money, they're spending. So it's always wise to be paying attention to your gut, to your tummy. If you're full, you're full. Or if you just, save some for later, And it's weird when that happens and you're eating something kind of tastier too. Yeah, I mean, these are all good things. When these things happen, when you just are like, okay, I'm done. and you're like only had 2 meals that day, but you're like, why am I done? Oh, because I'm putting a lot of nutrients in my system. That's a good thing. All right, you guys leave me thoughts in the comments below. Catch you guys later. Take care.